hopefully it's going. I can't tell how. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. I looked stupid there for a minute. Aaron set up a new thing on my computer. No. Oh my gosh, cat. No. You're a brat. I'm sitting out here. I've got leggings on, and Panda comes up and sticks his claws in my knee. Anyway.
No.
You might want more food. He barely has food or water. Anyway. Yeah, so I decided to try it out. Actually decided to continue the series, which I was planning on doing like at least one every day, and completely like got totally sidetracked on that. And I don't know what the deal is with this jacket. Okay, that's paint. This jacket looks like it's bad. I know it's clean, but anyway, I wanted to continue the series that I started weeks ago. This is part 7, and the series, How to Become Fully Self-Sufficient. Is it even possible? Yes, it absolutely is. No, please don't. It absolutely is. Okay. Nebula, go lay down now. And don't even try it because you've been outside. I know you don't have to go. You were outside for hours with us. You've had food. Go lay down. She's being a pain in the butt. She's like had everything. I didn't even want to hear it from her. Okay. All right. How to become fully self-sufficient. Is it even possible? Absolutely. It is absolutely possible. If you recall, wow, that one has over 1,000 views on it. 1,234 views. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's fine. So this is the one where I started it. How do you become fully self-sufficient, and is it even possible? The answer is a resounding yes. It does take planning. It takes a lot of work. It takes quite a bit of work, a lot of work. It is possible. Even if you don't have a lot of money, it's definitely possible. Okay. So, this one is going to be part 7 in that series. I have another video. We have more news, but I'll get to that. I have another video that I'm actually showing you guys that. I'll talk about that at the end of this video. I don't want to take too long with this one because we can't stay up all night. All right. How can you live? How do you become fully self-sufficient? Is it even possible? Absolutely. It is absolutely possible. This is part 7. How can you live an analog life as a homesteader? Okay, a little bit different, but this also shows you how to live without the grid. The beginning of that framework. So here we go. This is from Simple Life of a Country Wife. And it was posted February 1st of 2026. So, if you're a homesteader, chances are you are already living a slower, more intentional way of life than the rest of the world. I wish. Unfortunately, I'm still going to have to go out there and get another job because it's just, I can't get enough with door dashing unless I go to like a Lansing. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. And right now, like, we have to spend they pulled that blanket down again, and that was within the last 15 minutes. This hand? And my back and my hip hurt. Yeah. Tomorrow we got to get out there. We've got the guy coming out tomorrow that's going to be helping with the window and the porch. Again, I'll get into that in a little while. And I've got to start working out in the garden. I am going to try to do some dashing tomorrow. I've got to make some money. I've got to get my insurance money. I mean, like, as it is right now, probably not going to be able to spend any money Friday out of Scott's check because his check is probably not even going to be $100 because his hours are completely stupid. I'm not happy with Dollar General right now, and I don't mind saying it. And I'm actually tempted to call corporate and try to find out what's going on. Anyway. So, I'll have my dash thing on, but I'm not going to be able to, like, be on all day. So, I'll do what I can tomorrow. Anyway. Pray for our finances, you guys. If you are a homesteader, chances are you are already living a slower, more intentional way of life than the rest of the world. That's our goal. But even homesteaders get sucked into the constant notifications, digital overwhelm, and the information overload. I know I have. It can cause you to feel disconnected from the work that's right in front of you. Yep, and I've experienced that within the last month or so, last couple of months. It's the reason why I'm behind, because I've gotten overwhelmed. I've gotten just a lot of emotional stuff going on, and totally lost myself in it, and didn't do what I needed to. So now I'm having to play catch up. I felt that too. That's where analog living comes in. Recently, I've chosen to embrace a more analog life. If you choose to go analog, it doesn't mean you have to reject modern life or live off grid. Though some days both those options sound dreamy to me. Analog living helps you to choose practical skills over digital dependence. It encourages you to work with your hands and not be glued to a screen all day. And tomorrow, like, things are changing. Things are going to change tomorrow. I'm done. And the good news is, if you're already homesteading, you're probably further along than most to living an analog life. Never go lay down. I'm going to share with you how you can live an analog life as a homesteader in realistic, practical ways that support your homestead instead of complicating it and adding one more thing to your ever-growing to-do list. All right. What analog living looks like on the homestead. Analog living means relying more on physical tools, routines, and lived experience than on screens. On the homestead, this might look like 1. Handwritten lists, notebooks, and journals instead of apps. 2. Learning skills through repetition and practice, not endless tutorials. 3. Letting seasons and daylight guide your routines. 4. Doing one task at a time with your full attention. This is one of the reasons why I'm going to try to focus on the gardens and I have to focus on the chickens and the chicken coop, But if we can make it to where we're only focused on a few things instead of a ton of things, things will go better. Once upon a time, back in the day, homesteading was rooted deep in analog work. Gardening, food preservation, animal care, baking, and mending all require patience and engagement with a task in front of you. Analog living is a bit of a return to that. Why analog living works so well for homesteaders? Modern technology was supposed to give us efficiency, but in the end, it has caused deep overwhelm in our hearts and in our souls. And you know what? It was done on purpose. They knew it was going to disconnect people. They knew it was going to get people away from that physical, healthier lifestyle, and that's what they were trying to do. And they've accomplished that. As I continue to reduce digital dependence, I discover I can work more effectively and enjoy the lifestyle even more. Analog living helps you stay focused on daily chores without the constant interruption of notifications going off in your pocket. It can build confidence through actually trying a skill rather than just constantly watching a reel about it. And my favorite one, reduce stress because you are no longer constantly comparing yourself to all the other homesteaders online. Because let's be real, if you are interested in the homestead life or living it, chances are you've seen the extremely aesthetically pleasing reels all over the internet that has only shown you the highlight reel of homesteading. But as anyone who has actually homesteaded knows, it's dirty, it's tiring, and at times it's downright discouraging and heartbreaking. How can you start living an analog life as a homesteader? You don't need to change everything at once. Analog living works best when it's introduced gradually. What are you doing, baby? Use handwritten journals and charts. Whether it's garden planning, future homestead goals, or seasonal notes, writing these things by hand are a better option than putting them into your phone. And speaking of aesthetically pleasing, isn't there something so wonderful about using colored pens in a pretty notebook? Yes, there is, because I love my colored pens. Go back to recipe cards or a binder. And that's what we're doing. This is something I'm gradually changing over. No more just searching a recipe online when the mood hits. While I might find a certain keeper recipe on the internet, instead of needing to constantly go back to my computer, I print it out and put it in a binder. My next step is to switch it over to recipe cards because one day I want my kids to be able to have our favorite recipe written in my own handwriting. It's a lost art. Yeah. What are you doing? Sit down. Get a wall clock and a watch. I wouldn't mind getting a watch, but an older style one. I will never wear. Really? No. I will not wear a smart watch. Those are very detrimental to your health. And especially the ones that scan your... No, those are so bad for you. All right.
Hey, baby.
Again, this is another thing I just purchased, a good old-fashioned clock. This prevents me from reaching for my phone to check the time over and over again. A watch provides the same thing when you are on the move, whether in the chicken coop or the garden. If you don't have to reach for your phone for the time, you will have less distractions. Very true. Purchase homestead and gardening books. Been saying it. The internet is full of some really good information on how to homestead or garden. Excuse me. But nothing beats a hard copy book in your hands. Absolutely, you guys. Get on Amazon. Look up the homesteading books. Get them. All you have to do is go to Amazon and then type in homesteading books in the search bar. It'll come up with a million different options. Thousands of options, you guys. My favorite is the Backyard Homestead series. Yep. Yeah. And I do have to replace the Backyard Homestead book, but I gave that to Chloe and Zach. Anytime I don't have to search the internet for information means less chance of getting sidetracked. Go back to CDs. I like music on the homestead. It helps make the more difficult jobs go quicker. However, I recently went back to CDs. We realized we were paying $240 a year for a music subscription, and yet we don't own that music. When I did the math, I determined that I could buy a lot of CDs for the same price, and in the end, I would own it. A record player would be really fun too, but I wasn't confident I could find a lot of records for my type of music. Switch to an alarm clock, and I still want to get one. I'm going to get a non-electric, off-grid one that does not take batteries. Yes, it's got the bells on the top. It'll be annoying, but you know what? Grid down. You can't plug in an alarm clock. It won't work anyway. And what are you going to do with batteries? What are you going to do when you run out of batteries? You won't have your clock. So many of us use a phone as our alarm clock, which means it's right next to our bed. Switch back to an old alarm clock, keep your phone out of your bedroom, and watch your productivity in those early hours soar when you don't scroll first thing. Pull out the puzzles. Winter on the homestead can be long and cold. It's the time of year you slow down and stay indoors a little more in between outdoor activities. It's the time of year you slow down and stay indoors a little more in between outdoor chores. Puzzling is a perfect analog activity. Go back to printed calendars. I use printed calendars all the time. Instead of plugging in your animal breeding or gardening schedule into a phone, write it on a calendar that is hanging on your wall, or a calendar that is in a physical planner. Got to get to work on that homesteading binder and journal thing for you guys. Bite me. Get back. Get down. I think Boots is on the table.
All right. Move.
No, I'm done. I'm done. All right.
What they're about to do. I've been kind of like screaming on the rooftop.
All right. He is alive right now. All right. Yeah, so I'm got to get to work on that. I have to plan out my days better. Analog living for beginner homesteaders. Analog living is great for anyone on the homestead, but for beginners, analog living can be especially helpful. Instead of trying to learn everything through endless online content, focusing on one skill, one season, one routine at a time creates realistic progress that doesn't overwhelm. Homesteading was never meant to be fast or optimized. It was meant to be lived with your hands in the soil, food on the stove, and days shaped by real work instead of constant digital noise. Living an analog life as a homesteader isn't a radical change, though it might seem like that to outsiders looking in. It's actually a return to what already works and a way to build a homestead that feels both productive and peaceful. And that was it for How Can You Live an Analog Life as a Homesteader, which is part 7. Part 7 in our series of how do you become fully self-sufficient? Is it even possible? Yes, it is. This leans a little bit of a new direction, but tells you a little bit more on the how. Okay? So, got you another part in the series on what's going on. Alright? Our news, and I'm going to upload a video on it. Alright? Because I did a video outside about it. The people that put the window in the living room when we had to move my mom in there are the same people that are going to be replacing the window in the dining room, okay, the picture window. They're also going to be putting a deck out front where the front porch was. They're building us a new front porch, basically. So, freaking amazing. Got the stuff out there. He brought a bobcat out and helped clear out the old frame for the porch, which we're repurposing that. We're repurposing the old cement steps. But again, I'm going to be uploading a video about that, so you guys are good to see that. Anyway, so this is part 7, and I'm going to try to start getting those out there and get that series going again. And once again, you guys keep your eyes on your subscriptions because YouTube tries to pull a fast one. Stay ahead of the game. Do your preps, do your chores, do your research. Prep as much as possible, right? Get rice, beans, dry peas, dry lentils. They do make a great soup. Your like your dry soup mix starter. Like, I don't mean like onion soup mix or anything like that. I mean like your bean soup mix in the bag. You know, it's got the dry beans in it. Those are great. Get flour, raw sugar. You can make brown sugar, but buying brown sugar is okay. The darker the better. So I would go the dark brown sugar. Get as healthy a flour as you possibly can. Get on Amazon. Get einkorn flour if you can. Write out recipes on it. I will get you guys a link on where it has the recipes that Michelle from More Than Farmers has talked about for healthy. You might want to set that way far back away from the edge of that table because the cats are going to knock that on the floor. I have already lost every single one of the other ones of those. That is the only one I have. Anyway. So, but yeah, stock up on dry yeast. I'm probably going to do that. Get your seeds. Absolutely get your seeds. Now is the time, you guys. Start ordering seeds. I don't care if it's only like $20, $30 a paycheck. Get your seeds. Like, now. Stock up on at least 5 years worth of seeds. Get some fruit trees. Get some fruit bushes. Even if there's stuff you have to grow in buckets on a patio or something, there are ones that grow well in containers. Just get what you need. All right, because it is coming down to the wire. Get your gardens planned. Get your homestead started. Get that research. Get those homesteading books. And be prepared. I will see you guys in the next video. Like and share the videos. Click on that notification bell. Click on all to make sure you get all the notifications. And I will see you guys in the next one. See you tomorrow. Bye, you guys.